What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. In this video, we are going to talk about the fighter, Silvana. Silvana has a good set of area of effect, crowd control, and dash skills. Our Holy Knightess, Silvana is a mage fighter hero. I consider Silvana as a ganking mage fighter, since her ultimate could easily contain her target in a small circular area. Not only that, second skill can pull enemies towards her lance, making it for them to have their escape delayed. Now, let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Silvana based on my experience. I will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let me explain her skills one by one for further understanding. Silvana's passive, Knightess's Resolve, lets Silvana's basic attack deal magic damage, based on a combined amount from her physical attack and magic power. Her basic attacks will let her deal magic damage based on a percentage from her physical attack, and also based on a percentage from her magic power. Legendary. Her skills can mark the enemy she hits. Each mark will reduce the target's physical and magic defense by a certain amount. This debuff lasts for a few seconds. A target can have a maximum stack of 5 marks. When the amount of marks reaches the maximum, Silvana's skills will deal extra damage to the target. If you want peace. Silvana's first skill, Chromatic Lance, lets Silvana strike with her lance to punish her enemies. Enemies hit along the path will receive a certain amount of magic damage. The first enemy hero hit will be stunned for a while. Along with that, she increases her move speed for a short period. If this skill hits a target, Silvana will dash towards a designated direction and will strike again using her lance. This strike will deal a certain amount of magic damage to enemies nearby. The dash distance will depend if she hits an enemy unit. Upon colliding with an enemy, the dashing forward stops. To the death. I will find you. Mega kill. Double kill. Silvana's second skill, Spiral Strangling, lets Silvana stab her lance towards a designated direction. Upon clicking, she will stab towards the designated direction and let her lance spin for a few times. Each spin deals a certain amount of magic damage, and will slightly pull the enemies affected towards the center. Along with that, this generates Silvana's shield based on her magic power. The spin count will be more when she has more extra attack speed from items and emblems. If the target is a minion, this skill will deal less damage. Silvana's ultimate skill, Imperial Justice, lets Silvana leap towards an area, dealing a certain amount of magic damage on the area of effect to an enemy's hit. Enemies hit will also have their movement speed reduced. Meanwhile, she creates a circle of light. In this circle of light, the enemy closest to the center will be restrained from escaping the circle. You might be wondering what if the enemy has flicker or dash skills. We will discuss that further on the tips and tricks section. If Silvana is inside the circle, she will receive extra 100% attack speed and 100% magic lifesteal. There are so many items that you can buy for Silvana. You can focus on items that grants magical power, magical lifesteal, and movement speed. For me, I choose to buy items that grants magic power, magical lifesteal, slowing effects to the enemies, and health points to Silvana. We use different builds depending on the situation. You can use the Crit Mama build if you are more into dealing basic attacks with critical hits. You can also use the roaming support build if you want to roam more, since Silvana is also good with ganking enemy heroes. But let's focus more on the Kurumi way. You can consider buying magic shoes. Magic shoes grants additional movement speed and cooldown reduction. The cooldown reduction can help you cast more of your skills. You might want to consider Feather of Heaven. This item grants you magic power, attack speed and movement speed. Its unique passive will make your basic attacks deal additional magic damage based on your magic attack. You might also want to consider concentrated energy. It provides additional health points, magic power, and magical life steal. Magical life steal can greatly increase your survivability, since this also lets you life steal with your magical skills. This is pretty helpful since Silvanna's skills deal damage continuously, especially with her second skill, making her sustain more in team fights. You can consider buying Ice Queen Wand. This item gives additional magic power, magical life steal, mana, and movement speed. Its unique passive lets you slow down an enemy when your skill hits them. The slowing effect lasts for a few seconds and stacks up to 2 times. You can consider buying Holy Crystal. This item grants a huge amount of magic power. Its unique passive increases your magic attack by a percentage. The percentage scales with your level. Lastly, you can consider Blood Wings. This grants you magic power and health points. Its unique passive adds health points for every points of magic power added to your hero. The additional health points can help you survive in team fights. By the way, in situational cases like enemies having lots of magic damage, you might want to consider Oracle instead of Holy Crystal. This grants health points, magical defense, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive raises shield absorption and HP regeneration effects by 25%. This can significantly boost your shield generation on your second skill, and the magic lifesteal effect on your basic attacks. The item build for Silvana really depends on the enemy's lineup, so make sure to read each item's description so you can adapt in-game. One of the best spells to be used on Silvana is Purify. This will help you to be immune to crowd control skills for a short period. This will let you use your skills or basic attacks inside your ultimate skill without the worry of being stunned. You can also consider Arrival. This lets you teleport to an allied turret or minion after casting it for a few seconds. Your movement speed will be increased after teleporting. Also, the next basic attack will be enhanced, which will deal additional true damage, and also reducing the target's movement speed. In my opinion, you can use either Custom Fighter Emblem Set or Custom Mage Emblem Set. Let's focus first on the Custom Fighter Emblem Set. Custom Fighter Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a fighter. Set Bravery to its max level because it can give you extra physical damage. Higher physical damage means higher damage for your attacks. Setting Swift to max level will provide you additional attack speed. Higher attack speed means poking your lance to the enemies will be faster. Get Festival of Blood to be granted 8% of spell vamp. Killing an enemy hero grants an extra 1% spell vamp. This is really helpful since your damage comes mostly from your skills. So, it's also best to gain some health while dealing damage to enemies. On the other hand, Custom Mage Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a magic damager. Set Agility to its max level because it can give you additional movement speed. Higher movement speed means higher chance to chase enemies or escape death. Setting Observation to max level will provide additional magic penetration on your skills. Higher magic penetration deals more magic damage to enemies. That means your skills will be more explosive. Get Magic Worship to deal more magic damage to the enemies. When dealing damage that is more than a certain percentage of target's max HP for 3 times in 5 seconds, the target will receive a burning effect. This burning effect burns the target for 3 times. This effect has a cooldown of 12 seconds. Magic Worship can easily be triggered by Silvana, since her second skill deals multiple damage in a short time frame. Set second skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the cooldown lower, base damage higher, and the shield generated from this skill higher. That means you can deal more damage while having more shield with this. Prioritize first skill less since the second skill is what you need to deal damage, and for more durability. Always upgrade the ultimate skill when available for upgrading. Silvanna's passive is what you need to hurt enemies even more, with the ability to stack marks which decreases the defense of the enemies hit by your skills. This will definitely help you and your teammates to deal more damage to the enemies. With the help of your second skill, you can easily stack 5 marks to the enemies. Also, having 5 marks will increase your damage to them. Not only that, your passive skill includes a percentage of your magic power to your basic attack. Then, the total of it is dealt to the target as magic damage. This is pretty unique because this makes all your damage output as magic damage. But there is also a bad side to this because the enemies can just build magic defense items, making all your damage reduced upon hitting them. Also take note that even if her basic attacks are magic damage, this can still deal critical hits. That's why we have the Crit Mama build earlier on the item build part of this bootcamp. Silvanna's first skill is what you need to chase enemies or escape death. The first instance of this skill can stun the first enemy hero target. With this skill's long range, you can easily stun enemies trying to escape death, and when it hits the enemy, you can cast this skill again to dash towards your specified direction. The dash distance is quite long, making it possible for you to pass through obstacles without worries. You can opt to chase the enemy and make them see the holy light glimmering on him in no time. Also, you can use this to take the opportunity to escape death. When enemies are trying to chase you, you can stun the first enemy hero hit, then use the second instance of this skill to dash away from death. Just hit, then say sayonara. Hit. Sayonara. Just make sure that you don't miss the target on this skill's first instance. Because when you hit just the air, the second instance of this skill will not be available. Silvanna's second skill is what you need to slow down enemies, with the ability to pull the enemies towards the center of the spinning lance. Enemies will definitely be controlled, making you and your teammates burst their frustrations and sorrow towards the enemies. You can also easily reach max stacks of your passive skill because of the spinning. The number of spins is affected by your extra attack speed. The more extra attack speed you have, the more spins the lance will do. Your ultimate skill can definitely help you reach more spins with this skill, since your ultimate skill boosts your attack speed. By the way, this skill makes her generate a shield to absorb some damage. You can use this skill to try go all out with the enemy and take your chances for survival. Silvanna's ultimate skill is what you need to hold down the target in a small circle, with the ability to restrain the nearest enemy hero from the center from escaping the circle. This will give enough time for you and your teammates to focus their fire on that target. With this skill, it makes us feel that Silvanna can truly be a support fighter. Unfortunately, this only restrains one target, so make sure to aim this skill properly to choose which enemy deserves your chains of love. If you cast this circle ahead of the enemy before they even get in the radius, this will not restrain them. I repeat, this will not restrain enemies passing by the circle. So enemies can definitely ignore your circle of love. Inside the circle, the target will not be able to get out even when using flicker. I know you might be wondering for some heroes with exceptional escaping skills. Now again, we have our favorite lab rat, Rakuten, to demonstrate some heroes that can possibly escape Silvanna's ultimate skill or not. First, let's have Aldous. When Aldous uses his ultimate skill on your ultimate skill, he will be held inside Silvanna's ultimate skill during the duration, but he can still fly out after the duration of your ultimate skill ends. In short, this will just delay his flight, not unless you kill Aldous before leaving your ultimate skill's area of effect. Next, we have Franco. We tested if Franco's hook will pull enemies away from the area of effect. This is a crazy move, but let's see what will happen. As you can see, Rakuten is really a good Franco. Well, there's always a first for anything. Let's try again. He is really a good Franco. Oh, my god. Let's try again. Roddick and Rakuten recorded this clips for more than an hour, since Rakuten's hooks and Roddick's ultimate skill doesn't cooperate with them. Anyway, I think they succeeded on this one. As you can see, Harley was not pulled out of the area of effect. So basically, this is a crazy idea to begin with, and making this move to reality makes it crazier. Now, let's have Kaja. Let's try Kaja's ultimate skill. As you can see, the same happened. The enemy was not able to be pulled out from the area of effect. Lastly, we tried Fanny against Silvana. Take a look on Fanny zooming inside Silvanna's ultimate skill. Never ever try trapping Fanny inside with your other melee hero allies, because this will be an unlimited buffet feast for Fanny. Not unless you catch her with your first skill stun or your allies crowd control. Then that's fine. Another thing is, don't ever think that you are unstoppable inside your circle of light. Take a look on this scenario. Nana was able to control me and made me a cute little earthling. Then, all else was history. We died, obviously. That's where Purify comes in. Now this will definitely help you become unstoppable now for a short time. In terms of her combo, we simply follow our own way of combo for Silvana. You can have different combinations of skills, but let me tell you our way, the Kurumi way. First, we use our ultimate skill. This will make the target inside it unable to escape the area of effect. Just make sure you aim properly and have the enemies inside. Then, we use your second skill to deal damage and reach the max stacks of our passive skill. The number of spins will be more, since being inside our ultimate skill boosts our attack speed. This is best especially when you hit multiple targets at once. Since when you have spell vamp or magical lifesteal, you can further sustain inside the team fight. Then, we use first skill to stun a target. Then, either use again your first skill, or opt to deal basic attacks if the enemy is still alive. Here is another scenario where we unleashed our cutie combo.
Abyssal demons, you are doomed to perish! You have slain an enemy!
Additional tip. I know you do remember that I mentioned earlier about buying Oracle. Oracle will increase the damage absorbed by the shield generated from your second skill. Well, not only that, did you know that her basic attacks fall under magical lifesteal? And yes, this magical lifesteal from basic attacks is considered as health regeneration. So basically, this will further increase your magical lifesteal from basic attacks. Unfortunately, Oracle doesn't increase your magical lifesteal from skills. As we mentioned and tested on our previous boot camps, Spell Vamp is not affected by Oracle. Meaning, magical lifesteal from skills is also not affected somehow. So in general, we can say that Oracle doesn't support magical lifesteal from skills and Spell Vamp from skill. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Silvana. This video just guides you on how to use Silvana the Kurumi way. We would like to thank our lab rat, Rakuten, for testing some scenarios with us. I hope he can be a pro on hooking someday. A pro hooker indeed. Do not forget to follow his account, and tell him how thankful we are for showing us that not everyone knows how to be a hooker. Thank you, Rakuten. So, once again, this is Kurumi and that's how you use Silvana. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to our channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe button below. For our skin giveaway events, check out our community tab in YouTube for the mechanics on how to join. See you on the next Mobile Legends Bootcamp. Cheers!